Let's look now at the boast and the vow as found in Beowulf. A lot of times when we think of someone who's boastful, we think they're proud, they're a little too big for their britches. We think, wow, that person's really, really vain, telling all of the things that he or she has accomplished. However, we're going to find, though, that a boast and a vow could actually be considered a good thing. And it's something that you've done, it's something I've done in my life today. But what I want to do first is I want to look at the medieval warriors' boast and vow. What did it mean to boast and vow in Beowulf? And where do we still do this today? So, the boast is essentially a recitation of past achievements. In this, the medieval warrior says, here are all the things I've done. Here are all the great things that I've done. Here's why I am a worthy warrior. The vow, though, is a vow or a promise to do something specific. So the medieval warrior would say, I promise to do these things based on these past achievements. We find this in Beowulf in lines 405 through lines 455. Beowulf makes this boast. He says, and this is about line 418, 417. He says, he's talking about the Danes here. That he's going to the Danes. This is the Geats. Says, they have seen my strength for themselves, have watched me rise from the darkness of war, dripping with my enemy's blood. I drove 5 great giants into chains, chased all of that race from the earth. I swam in the blackness of night, hunting monsters out of the ocean, killing them one by one. Death was my errand and the fate they had earned. Now Grendel and I are called together and I've come. So his boast is he's done some pretty marvelous things. He's fought in wars, he hunted monsters from the ocean, and he also chased giants from the earth. So he makes this vow. He says, I've done these great things. So he says, now I can help you with your monster. And we find the vow in lines 430 through about 435. Beowulf says this to Hrothgar. He says, this one favor you should not refuse me, that I alone and with the help of my men may purge all evil from this hall. I have heard, too, that the monster's scorn of men is so great that he needs no weapon and fears none, nor will I. So Beowulf is promising Hrothgar, he's vowing to Hrothgar, I will take care of your monster I will take care of your monster Grendel, and I don't need any weapons. Your monster Grendel doesn't need any weapons, and I, Beowulf, need no weapons. So where do we see this today? Where do we see the boast and the vow in modern life? One example would be the job interview. On a job interview, we say, I've done all these great things. I've accomplished these things, in my previous career, my previous job, or at school. And I can do these things for your company. I can do this specific thing to help you out. So we do still do this today. So that being said, I want you to take this practical application from Beowulf, and I want you to think of yourself as a medieval warrior the next time you try to land a job. Just don't wear the Viking hat.